Well, hello there. It's Andy, your sovereign, lonely, libertarian citizen of California. Today I want to discuss what is a dollar. Um, Many of you out there don't know what a dollar is. Well, I can tell you a dollar is not a Federal Reserve note. A dollar is a unit of account. The Federal Reserve note is just a scrip. It is actually debt. And every dollar that is created is a dollar denominated in debt of our federal government. So anyways, I just wanted to let you know that those dollars that you have in your pocket are actually not money, they are debts, and when you pay somebody, you are just transferring the debt that is due you and giving that debt to someone else. And so they are collecting debts, they are not collecting dollars. Also, I want to discuss what is the value of a dollar today. I was doing a little research, and you know, recently the price of gold went up to $1,200 an ounce, and that's pretty high. It's the highest it's ever been. It did pull back a little bit, but let's take $1,200 an ounce as being the price of gold this month. Now, in 1913, the Federal Reserve Act was passed, and in 1933, we had the banking holiday. And as many of you remember from your history classes, President Roosevelt closed all the banks. Now, what was he really doing? Was there really a run on the banks? Actually, there was not. The banks were closed because they needed to close out the books of all the banks and of the federal government so they could determine what the exact amount of debt was. And during that time, they determined that amount of debt, and the Federal Reserve demanded that we pay off our debts to the Federal Reserve, meaning the government's debts, the bonds that they held from all the printing of money. And so we paid off those debts. Now, how do we pay them? We paid them in gold. Now, all the gold that was confiscated at $20 an ounce, that was the amount that the banking institutions gave you for your gold when you were told to turn it in 1933, because there was a prohibition on owning gold. Can you imagine? In a free society, you were told you couldn't own gold? Amazing. But anyways, why anybody would turn it in, I don't know. But anyways, people did. They turned it in, and they got gold certificates or silver certificates back. And of course, at $20 an ounce, that means that $1 is 1/20th of an ounce of gold. In today's value at $1,200 per ounce, that dollar should be worth $60. $60 of gold. However, it is not. It is merely a fiat currency. It is backed by the air and hot winds of our Federal Reserve and Treasury, and it is basically valued by what other people think, what people around the world think of the United States as they value their money against our money, and now they are determined to set the price a little lower because they think we are going bankrupt again, which is probably true. But anyways, if your dollar is worth $60, and of course it is not, because the dollar is just a unit of account, and of course the dollar bill is what it is, the face value of its paper, then you have to invert it. That means that $1 is worth 1/60th of what it was worth in 1933. From 1913 to 1933. That is what your dollar is worth, 1/60th. That means it is worth less than 2 cents in 1913 dollars, the year that the Federal Reserve was created. Well, so let's take a look at wages. Have wages gone up to meet with the inflation that has been caused by our falling dollar? Well, in 1913, a bricklayer, a mason, and a carpenter made 75 cents per hour. A painter and a stonecutter made 62.5 cents an hour, and that's from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Now, those were skilled labor jobs, meaning that you had to have training. You had to work for years to get to that point of getting that union wage. But that's what they made. That was a union wage. Now, what did unskilled labor make? People who would today be paid the minimum wage. Well, unskilled labor made about 18 to 25 cents an hour. So let's look at today's minimum wage. Across the country, it's about $8 an hour. It varies a little bit, about 50 cents here and there. But $8 an hour is pretty much the going minimum wage for most of America. So let's take our less than 2 cents and figure out what it is today that possibly people who have more skill than the people in 1913 are making. Well, they're making about 14 to 15 cents an hour. So if you are now making 14, 15 cents an hour, and someone back then totally, maybe didn't even pass grammar school, no grammar school certificate, was making between 18 and 25 cents an hour, then you are making anywhere from 40% to 80% less today on minimum wage than you were making in 1913. And that is a sad state of affairs. So do you think we can pay this debt off when people are making less than they were in 1913? It ain't going to happen, folks. It ain't going to happen. So anyways, I leave you with that. Something to grouse about this morning. Think about while you're out and about shopping for all those Christmas gifts and putting more money into China's pocket. Guys, I'll leave you with a little book I found. The Inside of the Cup by Winston Churchill. Great book. But anyways, I think the name says it all. You know, is the glass half full? Is the glass half empty? Who cares? Look on the inside of the cup. I don't know. So anyways, folks, we are in a sad state of economic affairs. If we don't turn this around soon, there's no coming back. And not much more I can say about that today. I also wanted to show you some old money, and I'll leave you with something I came across. This is a 1,000-mark note from 1922. This is where our money's going. It couldn't get a lot worse. This is actually, the beginning of the Weimar Republic, I think. But yeah, it's going to get a lot worse. 1,000-mark note. I'll keep on talking about it while I let it run out. Guys, you don't want to see these in your wallet. You don't want to see $1,000 bills to pay for bread. It's going to be a sad day. Well, it already is a sad day. It's going to be, oh man, it's going to be amazing when you see that. You're just going to fall down and cry.